To question 12, I call the Honourable Member for Douglas Central, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I beg leave to ask the Chair of the Manx Utilities Authority what the impact is on the all-island water and sewerage rate of the variances in rateable value brought about by differing treatment of town and parish properties.
On the Chairman of the Manx Utilities Authority.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for his question this morning. Manx Utilities applies an all-island water and sewerage rate to pay for the cost of water supply and sewerage treatment in the Isle of Man. The rate-borne charges are levied based on rateable values determined by the Treasury's evaluation team. We're not aware of any variations in the rateable values arisen from differing treatments being applied in different towns and parishes. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Question, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And obviously this morning it became apparent that people are treated very differently in Andreas versus Bride and in northern parishes versus other prices. Does the Chair agree with me that the amendment put forward in October 2008 by his friend and colleague Minister Hooper to actually for the MUA to take into account the variances between the differing treatments of town and parish properties inherent in the rating system so that they can be offset in assessing rates on an island-wide basis was an excellent amendment, and it would be good now, given that we're not taking forward rates modernisation in Treasury or anywhere else in government, that the MUA should take forward rates modernisation to make up for the fact that people in certain rural areas particularly benefit hugely from the all-island rating, given the difference in treatment.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for his questions. I think it's worth noting that there are almost 40 rating bodies on the island. Most of them are through our local authorities and churchyard and burial authorities. I'm happy to take back the information that the members give this morning and discuss that with the Executive, the MUA, and then discuss this with the member himself to see if there is any changes. But again, I just repeat that we are applying the rateable values given to us by the Treasury valuation team this morning.
Supplementary question, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I assume that the Chair is aware that although there are 40 rating bodies, more than half of the rates raised are raised by the Manx Utilities Authority. So on that basis, is it not paramount that the Manx Utilities Authority itself addresses the inherent unfairness inside the rating system if government's not prepared to step up and do it?
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I think I've just repeated my previous question. I'm happy to look at if there's anything that Manx Utilities can do. I can't give any promises, but again, just repeat that we are working off information that's given to us by the Treasury team, but I'm happy to look to see if there's anything that Manx Utilities can do to try and give a bit more fairness based on what the Speaker has said this morning.
I will supplementary question, Mr Thomas.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I really appreciate that the Chair will take this forward with the Board and hope can engage the Government and Treasury again in this to focus thinking. Is the Chair aware that the people who are likely to benefit from this sort of revaluation would be eventually the people in Douglas, Onken and Ramsey, and it would be people in Andreas, Arbury, Belaf, Braddon, Bride, German, Lazaire, Malloom, Around, Michael, Patrick and Russian who might well lose out from this. So I hope that the Honourable Member will focus on this in his capacity as Chair, because we do need fairness in the rate system.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I don't think there's anything further to add other than to say that I'll take it back. I promise the member I will look at it and then I'll write to honourable members in due course. Thank you.